We'll quickly start with what a synopsis is. A synopsis is a comprehensive summary of your research project. It is nothing but it is an outline of your research project, and it tells the reader about what exactly are you going to do in your research project, what your research project is all about, and how you're going to go about your research project. The purpose of a synopsis, like Sir said, can be two. So basically, it is a proposal. You are proposing a research project that you want to take up, you want to shoulder, which is why you are writing a proposal in the form of a synopsis. Your synopsis is like a selling point. You are selling your research project to a committee that is going to eventually or give you a grant. So what do you submit to them? You submit to them a synopsis of your research project, which they are going to read because it's a proposal of your project, and they're going to understand what exactly your project is about. Second, it could be for a PhD application. So when you pursue your PhD, you don't actually take admission into a PhD course and then take up a project. You actually take a project before the committee. You explain to them why you deserve to get a PhD if you complete this research project. And when you propose to them this step, you present a synopsis. It tells the entire thesis committee what your project is about, whether it is feasible, whether they'll admit you as a PhD applicant, support your research, and in the end give you a degree. So basically, it is a proposal for your research project. Now we'll study about what exactly are the contents of a synopsis. You can see on your screen there are certain parameters that are given that you have to fulfill while writing a synopsis. These are the things that the synopsis entails. The title of the research project. Now, it is important to understand here that your research topic and your research title are two different things. Topic तो अपन first week में select कर ही रहे with the guidance of the ideas members and the chairman, that is sir. But what is the title? Title is the name of your paper. It is exactly the wordings that you use to name your paper. Now हम कभी कोई movie देखते हैं या कभी कोई book देखते हैं, पेपर भी अगर हम पढ़ रहे हो तो फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट थिंग वी सी इज द टाइटल ऑफ द पेपर. हम कभी भी सिनॉप्सिस या उसका एब्स्ट्रैक्ट या वो पेपर एक्चुअल में नहीं पढ़ेंगे, हम पहले तो टाइटल देखेंगे, which is why the title of the research project is very important. So the title, that is the name of your research, your paper, should be very brief and self-explanatory. Certain parameters can be used. These are for your help. ये कोई exhaustive list नहीं है. This is merely illustrative. First is कि आप अपना paper का नाम में purpose of the research include कर दो. So for instance, Shubham, who is here with us today, was thinking of a topic, the relationship between women's marriageable age and SDG 5. SDG 5 is equality of gender. तो उसके टाइटल में ये पर्पस ऑफ द रिसर्च डायरेक्टली आ सकता है. ही कैन नेम हिज पेपर एज एनालाइजिंग द नेक्सस बिटवीन मैरिजेबल एज एंड इक्वालिटी ऑफ जेंडर, और लिंक बिटवीन एज ऑफ मैरिज एंड इक्वालिटी ऑफ जेंडर. तो अगर ये उसका टाइटल है तो इससे क्लियरली पता चल जाता है कि देयर आर टू एस्पेक्ट्स दैट ही इज विशिंग टू लिंक, या उनका लिंक वो एनालाइज कर रहा है अपने पेपर में. सेकेंड, टाइटल में नैरेटिव टोन ऑफ द पेपर का हिंट आ सकता है. इफ यू आर डूइंग अ क्वालिटेटिव रिसर्च, इफ यू आर डूइंग अ क्वांटिटेटिव रिसर्च प्रोजेक्ट, अगर आप कुछ एनालाइज कर रहे हो, सिर्फ एक लिटरेचर रिव्यू कर रहे हो, कोई लेजिस्लेशन पढ़ के उसका क्रिटिक कर रहे हो, तो ये नैरेटिव टोन बन जाता है उस पेपर का, जिसकी हिंट आप अगर टाइटल में दे सकते हो. लास्ट इज द मेथड्स यूज. आप क्या रिसर्च मेथोडोलॉजी यूज करते हो. आपने अगर केस स्टडी की, आपने फोकस ग्रुप बनाया, आपने इंटरव्यू किया, तो इसकी हिंट भी आप अपने टाइटल में दे सकते हो. After the title, you may add a subtitle as well. The statement of the research problem. Now, this is where your synopsis is exactly starting. अभी तक तो title लिखा आपने. Now, what is statement of the research problem? The research problem is basically the situation that you wish to study. And the research aim is to study the research problem. Now, what all to mention in this section? The problem to be studied should be mentioned in precise and clear terms. आप क्या research project में पढ़ना चाहते हो, आपका क्या area है, focus है, आपकी क्या situation है जो आप analyze कर रहे हो, वो आपके synopsis में first ही आ जाएगा, known as the statement of the research problem. Then second, a brief account of its utility at the local, national, international level may be discussed. तो अगर आपका some system है या कोई policy है जिसका कोई impact है real life में, तो आप, it is best to discuss that in the statement of the research problem because it adds legitimacy to your project. ये बताता है कि listen, this problem is so pertinent क्योंकि इसका ये effect होता है local, national, international level पे. That is why I have selected this as my research problem. And third is the present status of the problem. It is always best कि आपके statement of research problem में आप ऐसे लिखो उसको that up to date है वो problem, कि आज की तारीख में वो problem क्या है. See, problems usually mutate क्योंकि नए interventions आते हैं, government उस पे work करती है, तो problem या तो घट जाती है या बढ़ जाती है या वैसी की वैसी रह सकती है. So it is a good idea to mention in your statement that as of today this problem is this pertinent. So this is your statement of research problem. You go on to the statement of research objectives and hypotheses. Now, in the first session, we have already learned what research objectives and hypotheses are. Research objectives are basically your research aim broken down into further subsets. मेरा research aim बहुत broad हो सकता है, but उसके अंदर मेरे जो specific actions होने वाले हैं वो मेरे objectives बन जाते हैं. And research hypotheses are basically certain statements that you assume at the starting of the project, and then later your data and your analysis turns to disprove them or prove them. So those become your research hypotheses. Now, why are these relevant for a synopsis? It is best to mention your research objectives and synopsis right after your statement of problem. Why? Because you have told the reader that this is the problem, so you move on to stating कि अब मैं इस problem का करूंगी क्या. So I have stated my objective that I'm going to study this problem in A, B, C manner. In A, B, C aspects, I'm going to study this problem. So this is how you have to give a statement of your research objectives and hypothesis. A few things to keep in mind, and I think this is very basic. Objectives, if they are written in bullet points, sabse badhiya. Because this is the part that the reader has to focus on. It is very important for the reader to know कि भाई आप करना क्या चाहते हो exactly आपके project में. So a lot of flowery language, यहाँ पे अगर आपने बहुत elaborate कर दिया तो the chances are that the main point gets lost. Which is why it is best to always use bullet points and keep this part of the synopsis very crisp. Scope, limitations, and assumptions in a research project. Scope of the research project is the extent of research. A problem or your aim or your objectives also may be very wide. बहुत ही lengthy research हो सकता है किसी भी problem पे. But you don't go all the way, right? There is a certain limit that you set to your research. That becomes the scope of your research project. Now, limitations can be of two types again. They may be technical limitations or they may be topical limitations. Topical limitations are when you limit the extent you delve into the problem itself. And limitations of a technical nature can be, let's say कि COVID-19 की वजह से you have to limit your research to, let's say, 10 people या only people you can meet via online platforms क्योंकि आप in person जाके interview या survey नहीं कर पा रहे. You have to whatever online आपका data मिल रहा है वही आपने use किया. तो that becomes your limitation, and it is very important that synopsis में ये limitations, ये scope सही तरीके से आ जाए. After all, you have to keep in mind the end purposes of a synopsis is it's a proposal. You are basically trying to convince somebody of your project or you're trying to sell your project to someone for a grant. So it is best कि ये सारे important aspects आपके synopsis में आ जाए. Reader को कुछ ऐसा नहीं लगना चाहिए, उसको कोई questions नहीं होने चाहिए आपके project के बारे में. Everything on the synopsis should be so comprehensive कि पढ़ के समझ आ जाए कि पूरा project क्या है. Which is why limitation scope बहुत important है. Now, assumptions क्या होते हैं? Sometimes we take certain statements of facts for granted and then we work upon that in a research project. तो उनको assumptions कहा जाता है when certain parameters are presumed to be constant, when they are presumed to be true. They become assumptions. If your research project is working on one of such assumptions, then it is best to mention that in your synopsis because it has a major impact on a research project if you are working on certain research assumptions. Review of existing literature. Now, after you have given these important aspects of your research project in your synopsis, you move to the review of existing literature. Literature is basically the documentation that has been done on any particular issue. Existing literature is आपके जो research topic पे previous documentation या literature wise action हुआ होगा in the form of reports or directives या कोई study हुई होगी जो after all research paper में convert हुई हो. So this becomes the literature. लिटरेचर में ऑल्सो भी इन द फॉर्म ऑफ सर्टेन सेमिनार्स हो या किसी ने कोई ग्रुप डिस्कशन किया हो, तो दिस इज ऑल्सो लिटरेचर. एनी सॉर्ट ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन or discourse or discussion that has already happened on the issue that you have selected becomes the existing literature. Now, why is it important to review this existing literature in your synopsis? Because you have to tell your reader that despite past efforts, this problem is relevant today. इसलिए आप आपके रीडर को बताते हो that listen, past में 10 years पहले ये रिपोर्ट गवर्नमेंट ने दी थी, मिनिस्ट्री ने ये रिपोर्ट डाली थी या लॉ कमीशन ने ये रिपोर्ट लिखी थी, बट आज भी ये प्रॉब्लम रेलेवेंट है बिकॉज, and that is when you review the existing literature, you tell that there is a gap of knowledge or there is an observation that is incorrect or hasn't been made, which is why I am proposing this research proposal today again. So this becomes your review of existing literature. Moving ahead, you move on to the technical aspects of your project. First and foremost, and the most important, is your choice of research methodology. It is important to know that research methodologies are of two types, qualitative and quantitative. So, आपके synopsis में, the first and foremost should be your choice of methodology. So, you should mention in your synopsis which type of methodology you want to select, which is the अभी qualitative and quantitative में भी अलग-अलग types होते हैं. तो ये आपको synopsis में ही mention करना है that which tool you are proposing to use. Second, in your synopsis, you have to mention the sample size. अभी आपने 10 लोगों को इंटरव्यू करने का सोचा या 100 लोगों को सर्वे बांटने का सोचा, दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट द सिनॉप्सिस रिफ्लेक्ट्स दिस. लाइक आई सेड, इट इज अ प्रपोजल. द रीडर और द पर्सन हु इज इवेंचुअली गोइंग टू गिव यू अ ग्रांट और इज गोइंग टू एडमिट योर प्रोजेक्ट नीड्स टू नो कि आपका एग्जैक्टली स्कोप क्या है. योर सैंपल साइज ट्रांसलेट्स इनटू योर स्कोप, बिकॉज पता चल जाएगा कि अच्छा, स्टडी 10 लोगों की है तो छोटी स्टडी है, अगर स्टडी 1000 लोगों की है तो रिलेटिवली बड़ी स्टडी है. Then you have to mention the geographical location pertaining to your methodology. कि मैंने स्टेट ऑफ महाराष्ट्र में सिर्फ अपना सर्वे बांटा या मैंने पैन इंडिया अपना सर्वे बांटा, अलग अलग स्टेट के लोगों को बांटा या सिर्फ नॉर्थ रीजन से मैंने अपने सर्वे को बांटा है लोगों में. तो geographical location of your sample is very pertinent. Then mode of data collection. आपने आपका डेटा कैसे कलेक्ट किया. इफ इट्स एन इंटरव्यू, यूजुअली फ्रॉम द ट्रांसक्रिप्ट ऑफ द इंटरव्यू यू आर कलेक्टिंग योर क्वालिटेटिव डेटा. इफ इट इज अ सर्वे, द सर्वे के जो रिस्पॉन्सेज होते हैं दैट बिकम्स द डेटा दैट यू आर कलेक्टिंग. सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू मेंशन दिस इन योर synopsis. And lastly, and this is optional, you may mention how the data is going to be processed or analyzed. ये तभी करो when you feel that it is relevant for the committee or the person, the grant जिसको आप दे रहे हो, to know that ये data कैसे process या analyze होगा. But this is a step that you can completely miss if you feel that कोई relevance नहीं है synopsis में इसकी. Time frame of the research project. Usually when you submit a proposal, it is very important to let them know कि what is your ambition regarding time. अब सालों साल तो आप ये प्रोजेक्ट चला नहीं सकते. यू हैव टू गिव देम कि भाई मेरा 1 ईयर का टारगेट है, मेरा 6 मंथ्स का टारगेट है टू कंप्लीट दिस रिसर्च प्रोजेक्ट. ऑल्सो इट इज इम्पोर्टेंट टू नो टाइम फ्रेम बिकॉज it is important to know whether the problem doesn't become defunct only. Now, if I am studying something regarding COVID-19, I can't say that मेरा research project 2 साल चलेगा because COVID-19 might not persist after 2 years. So it is very important to discuss and decide the time frame also of your research project and then, lay down the same in your synopsis. This is how you may write your time frame in your synopsis. Either it can be in the form of a table like you can see on your screen, या तो आप एक write up या graph या किसी graphical representation वाया भी अपना टाइम फ्रेम एंड ड्यूरेशन एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हो सिनॉप्सिस में. एंड we'll move on to the last step, that is the budget of the research project. A lot of small scale projects that we as students handle usually do not require a budget, but when you go for your PhD or when you take a bigger project, there's a certain money, that is a certain cost that come with it, and this is, you have to talk about these costs in your section of the synopsis. यूजुअली व्हेन यू आर आस्किंग फॉर ग्रांट मनी, लाइक सर सेड, अगर आप किसी ग्रांट प्रपोजल को दे रहे हो तो उसमें बजट बहुत ही ज्यादा रेलेवेंट बन जाता है बिकॉज यू आर बेसिकली आस्किंग फॉर मनी, सो यू हैव टू टेल देम हाउ मच मनी यू वांट. दैट बिकम्स योर बजट. Budget mein there are two types of costs that you have to segregate and lay down in your synopsis. First is the implicit, second is the explicit cost. एक्सप्लिसिट कॉस्ट इज द डायरेक्ट कॉस्ट जो आपको पड़ती है अगर आप ट्रैवल कर रहे हो कहीं, अगर आपको वहां जाके अकोमोडेशन लेनी है, क्योंकि आप मान लो रिसर्च न्यू दिल्ली में हो रहा है, मैं मुंबई की हूँ, एंड आई हैव टू ट्रैवल फॉर 3-4 days 1 week, सो दैट कॉस्ट ऑल्दो मेरा पर्सनल एक्सपेंस होगा, एंड समटाइम वी डोंट थिंक कि ओके पेरेंट्स ने दे दिया, बट ऐसा नहीं होता. यू हैव टू बी वेरी फॉर्मल while doing a research project, and you have to mention these costs as explicit costs in your synopsis. Implicit costs are costs, indirect costs, because of the opportunity that you might have lost when you started this research project. If you are in a job, you are employed and you get a salary, but you had to take a sabbatical or a leave because you want to, pursue a research project, that salary for, let's say, 3 months becomes your implicit cost, because it is the opportunity cost that you have lost for taking up the research project. So this is the flow of the synopsis.